Welcome to episode 12 of Waves of Wisdom with J.OCEANA. Be sure to subscribe for your weekly tide of truths and transformation where we dive deep and surface wiser. All right, y'all. So, y'all know here we talk about real life, real lessons, and real awareness. And today's episode is heavy but necessary because sometimes the biggest danger isn't a stranger in the dark, it's someone being invited into your home. And what we're about to talk about, it could have ended very differently if one person hadn't been paying attention. This is personal to me because I was this child. I needed this type of intervention. And I know the type of trauma that comes along with not being advocated for, supported, or encouraged to stand up for yourself or speak your truth. The truth. So I recently came across a story that's going viral all over TikTok that honestly stopped me in my tracks. A man shared how he reconnected with an old friend, and they had a casual visit, nothing out of the ordinary. But while he was at her house, he overheard something that didn't sit right with him. They had plans to, I guess, kick it, chill, relax, and eat pizza. The woman's partner was out getting the pizza, and that's whenever he called her. Ironically, she put the phone on speakerphone and she was talking to her partner, and the friend heard this woman telling her partner she would get her children dressed. Confused, the friend asked, "Are we going out somewhere?" And she replied, "No, he just requires that I have them dressed modestly when he comes over." And immediately, that's a red flag. And the friend caught it. Because, yeah, why do children need to alter themselves to accommodate a grown man's presence? Let's sit with that for a second. Now, as the story continues, the energy gets heavier. The friend feels discomfort, and he did briefly check the friend before leaving. And long story short, him being there, him noticing, him questioning, ended up saving his friend's daughter. But it did cause a rift between him and his friend. She did end up blocking him and did not want to hear anything that he had to say. But it turns out what was being brushed off as normal or respectful was actually something much, much more dangerous and sinister. And this is where we have to have a real and honest conversation. Because too many women, especially mothers, are being conditioned to prioritize companionship over protection. And I'm not saying you don't deserve love. I'm not saying you don't deserve a partner. I'm not saying you can't have a life. But what I am saying is, not every man deserves access to your children.
So y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Because I'm pretty sure I just ended a 15-year friendship. So homegirl messaged me. She says, "Hey, I'm going to get you away from the hotel for a little bit. I'm going to come pick you up. You're going to come chill with me and the kids. When boyfriend get off, you can grab some pizza. We're going to have a movie night." I said, "Okay, wonderful. Sounds great." Picks me up. I meet her children. Teenager, about 14, 15 young lady. And the toddler's a little boy. So we all chilling. We vibing. They, in their rooms doing whatever little toddler just running all around the house doing what little toddlers do, and me and her just catching up. We had a couple like little mimosa things or whatever, delicious, having a great time. So a boyfriend calls and he says, "Hey, yada yada yada, I got the pizza, I'm on my way home, I'll be home in 10 minutes." She said, "All right, bet, let me get the kids dressed." He said, "Okay, cool, I'll see y'all soon." So that instantly caught my attention. I'm like, "Oh, what, we all going somewhere?" She was like, "No, he just like them to be dressed when he come home." Hello. So instant red flag like flying up in my head. And I'm like, uh-huh. So she getting a little boy dress. Mind you, he just run around in a pamper. She getting a little boy dress. And she told the girl to go in there and put some clothes on. Mind you, this little girl had some shorts on that came just right above her knee, nothing crazy, and a t-shirt, like something a child would wear to the mall with some Crocs on. So I'm like, wait, he wanted them to get dressed because he coming home? She said, "Yeah, he don't believe that kids should be showing skin around him. They need to have some modesty." I said, "Friend, that's a red flag. Number one, this is a toddler, a little boy at that. What kind of skin?" I said, and she was fine. She was like, "No, don't do that, girl. I know what you're trying to say, but it's nothing like that. It's just all about modesty." I said, "No, this is way beyond modesty, honey." This girl come out the room and go, "Mom, is good." And she got sweatpants on and a long sleeve sweatshirt. Mind you, it's hot as hell today in Florida. It ain't cold. And the house was on 75. It ain't cold in the house. She goes, "Yeah, that's perfect." I said, "Friend, do you not hear yourself? Do you not honestly hear the words that are coming out your mouth? What she had on was fine. She is in her home. She was comfortable. She had no reason to go put. That's just the rules of the house. Mind you, he don't live there. He don't pay a single bill there. She say he got his own apartment. She handles all her bills. He handles all his bills. But he got rules at her house for her kids to have clothes on when he show up. So y'all know me. I can't hold my peace. All right. First thing I said was, all right. She go, what I said? I'm going to go ahead and get back to the hotel. She said, what you mean? You leaving? What, we ain't had pizza yet. I said, I don't like this, friend. I don't like that you be mad with me, but something ain't right with this man you with. And I can't, for the life of me, I can't be fake. I cannot be fake. And I can't sit up here with this man sitting here cackling, kikiing, knowing he called you to warn you when he coming home so your children can have clothes on. Well, how you gonna get home? Because I picked you up, baby. To already handle that. A friend got me an Uber on the way. It's gonna be here in 3 minutes. Because the moment them words came out her mouth, baby, I instantly started messaging folks. Can you get me back to my hotel? Stop putting your kids in danger. And then when something happened, God forbid, y'all talking about it was no motherfucking signs. If a man comes to your house and you got to tell your children to make sure they're properly dressed, he don't need to be in your fucking house. It's that simple. I can understand if the little girl was walking around in some booty shorts with the stuff up her ass cheeks and the crop top up to her titties. Completely understand that. But this little girl was comfortable in her shorts and her t-shirt, and this is a fucking toddler. If you can't control yourself around a fucking toddler, you can't handle seeing toddler skin. Girl, maybe I'm just overreacting. Y'all let me know, because I feel like I was justified, but, you know. Hold on, and really quick, I'm sorry. This ain't nothing against this person. It's just one of the comments that let me video on. To you men who in my comments trying to project, you trying to stick up for the man, talking about he has every right to make a rule in the house where he don't lay his head at, and he don't pay a bill at, you're projecting your pedophilia. But that's not what we're gonna talk about. You sitting here, y'all want to get up here and call me all kind of fats and punks and ugly and all that. First of all, even without a shave, face card has never declined. And this fat has never stopped me from getting anybody, man or woman. Yeah, hi, welcome to my page. It's equal opportunity over here. I still get ate up like an oxtail. Delicious. They eats the gristle off this little bacon bit. The amount of men who want to lift this belly up and put it on top of their forehead. The amount of women who let me lift this belly up and put it on their lower back so I can lock it and tear their left and right wall up. You gonna have to come harder than that, boo boo. You try to get low with me, I go to Tartarus with it, and nobody's off limits. But ugly, fat, fag, all that stuff, that don't faze me, because at the end of the day, I will fuck your mother and your father. It's funny, I came across this comment first thing this morning. So after I got back to the hotel, I waited like an hour to send her a text message. Just, sis, I'm not mad with you. I just don't like the situation. Please be safe. Please make sure the kids safe. My texts weren't going through. She's blocked me on everything, literally everything. Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, text messaging, WhatsApp, you name it, she blocked me on it. So about 30 minutes later, a mutual of ours reached out to me. She was like, girl, what the fuck did you do? Because so-and-so was mad as fuck. You all kinds of punks, fags, and all this other stuff. And I was like, wow. Well, that's nice to know that's how she feels. But I explained the whole situation, and she said, he said what? He did what? She goes, friend, I don't like that neither. I'm like, so apparently ain't nobody met this dude. She been dating this dude for 6 months and then kept him under wraps. I now see why. Because now it's making me feel like she knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. She just don't want to come to terms with it. So this mutual actually has somebody in her family that works with DCF. She reached out to that friend. That friend said, as of right now, they can't do anything. There has been no complaints against this man. This man has a squeaky clean background. So they were able to find his full name, run him through the system. This man don't even have a speeding ticket. So unless the children come forth, unless she comes forth, unless somebody sees something, they can't intervene. The most I can do is do a wellness check. But even then, that's wasting resources because nothing's. I just really pray. And don't get me wrong. The young lady, the teenager, you're highly intelligent. Highly intelligent. I honestly feel like this young lady is going to be one of them kids who graduate early. Like I see her graduating by the time she's like 17 because she is overly smart. So I really hope that intelligence sticks to the point where if something happens, she's not what's the word I want to use? She's not it's on the tip of my tongue. She's not coerced into staying silent because he's gonna try to use that same I hurt your mama, I hurt somebody in your family. I hope she uses that intelligence to say, I don't care. You touch me, you touch my brother, son, yada yada yada. I'm gonna go snitch on you. So all I can do now is just, watch them kids, check on my friend. Because I still love the girl. I'm not going to, regardless of how she feel about me right now, I still love her. That's 15 years we talking about. But all I can do is just check up on her through mutuals right now. And my mutual's going to be sick of me because I'm going to be checking very often. But that's pretty much the update. So y'all just be praying with me that them kids stay safe. Let me just say this, and I'm gonna take my ass inside because if I sit outside, I'm a chain smoke, and I'm trying to not to smoke as much. This ain't nothing to do with this comment, but for some reason, TikTok's not letting me respond to the comments I want to respond to. I'm already on it. I'm not just going, oh fuck it, I hope the kid's okay. No, praying for him, of course, but we have mutuals out the ass. I've already told all of our mutuals exactly what's going on. So guess who has random play dates coming up? Let me come grab them kids and take them to the park. Oh, it's gonna be non-stop. I'm not gonna let nothing happen to them kids. If I have something to say with it, I might maybe reach out to them and go back over to that house. But I have mutuals who can, and they gonna report back to me. So I don't want y'all sitting here in the comments talking about, oh, you ain't do enough, you ain't do enough. I know my mouth. If I would have stayed there and tried to have a conversation with this man, the first thing that come out of my mouth is, well, how come you a pedophile? And now we fighting. And if she is bold enough not to take my advice about this man, if we get into a fight, guess whose side she choosing? His side. Now I'm in jail with no bail money, without being able to tell anybody that I'm in jail. My father ain't got bail money. Now my father and my niece sitting in a hotel trying to fend for themselves. I can protect them children while protecting myself at the same motherfucking time. Thank you. So hey everybody, wow, it's only been not even 24 hours and we've gone up over 2,500 new cousins. So hey everyone, just a very, very fast update because now I can officially go to sleep with my mind at ease a little bit. So one of our mutuals is close with all of her relatives. This information has now gotten back to her mother. The mother knew the girl was dating some man. She didn't know nothing about the man, but now that the mother heard this information, the mutual said the moment she heard the whole modesty thing, instantly got up out of her bed and started getting dressed. Now it's like an hour ago. So more than likely that lady is down to that girl's house. Because me and this girl used to go out a lot, and the mother would always be the first one, bring my grandbabies to me. Bring my grandbabies to me. You ain't have no babysitter because she don't play about that. She's very old school. So she don't play about her grandbabies. So now that she knows the situation and the information, I'm sure she's already told her husband, and he's one of those grandfathers who don't play about his grandchildren either. I feel much better because them children have stayed at her mother house for like 2 weeks at a time. Not saying she a bad mother, but that's just how her parents are. They want their grandbabies there. They feel safe with the grandbabies there. So if they feel any type of way, they gonna say, pack my big grandbaby some clothes. They come to stay with us. So I feel a lot better. A lot better. I can go inside and take a nap, which I needed that because I didn't sleep at all last night, really. Like, at all. Because I was so stressed out. But I'm gonna put my phone on D&D because the notifications have blown my phone up to the point where it's overheated. So I'm gonna go rest. I got 2 more days in this hotel. I gotta figure something else out for us to either extend the hotel or try to get somewhere else to go. But I need to go take a nap first. When I wake up, if I have any more updates, I will let y'all know. But as of right now, them babies are beyond safe. Trust me. So I will holler at y'all later, cousins. I hope y'all have a blessed day. And we're gonna wake up and get back to the grind. Get back to hustling to make some money. So I love y'all. I will holler at y'all later. I'm gonna say this and call it a day and go inside and eat this delicious breakfast this hotel done cooked. And then I'm gonna go about my life and do what I'm supposed to do. So I got money to make today. It's come to my attention that homeboy said when he see me, it's on site. Oh, I likes that. That's sexy to me, sir. I don't know if you ever gonna see this video, but please just remember one thing. Before you decide to drive 45 minutes to get your ass whooped, I take 10 inches or more with a smile on my face, with only spit. If you really think I'm afraid of you, please, I'm gonna let you get the first hit. And you better knock my ass out. Because after that punch connects and I giggle and my toes grip this concrete like the Hulk, I'm gonna make you my bitch when I'm done. Oh, I'm gonna show you what kind of punk I am. I ain't smacked a hoe and I can't remember how long, and I've been itching. This right hand has been itching to connect to flesh. Last time I checked, I ain't never been afraid to say what's on my mind. There is no filter on this mouth because who gonna whoop my ass? Throw a rock in a pack of dogs, the one that hollers is the one you hit. And I'm gonna put this on my dead mama. If I ever get if I ever get wind that you done hurt them children in any shape, form, or fashion, we gonna have a revival up in this bitch. 3 days worth. And homegirl can get it too. They ain't even take all this. And she know how I roll. She know I don't play about that threatening shit. I'm that friend when you go out at night, I'm the one who's sober because I'm waiting for somebody to say something. I'm waiting for somebody to bust a move. So go ahead. Cha-cha on over here, baby. And I'm gonna slide your, ooh. Gotta remember, ooh. Good morning.
In the words of Dejanay Jones, bravo, bravo. What a stand-up man. What a great human being. The level of care and discernment he had in that situation is incredible, and I commented on several of his videos commending him and telling him he's God sent. Many of us did because we were those children, or we simply have awareness and empathy regarding this type of situation. There is a difference between dating someone and bringing them into your children's environment. There's a difference between wanting love and ignoring red flags for the sake of not being alone. Because when a man requires children, especially young girls, to quote unquote dress modestly, that is not protection. That's projection. That is a grown man placing responsibility on a child for his own thoughts, his own gaze, and his own lack of control. And we are not about to normalize that. Luckily, in this situation, those children have a village of people around them willing to hold the mama accountable and protect those babies at all costs.
Okay, so random update. So apparently we're gonna have a conversation today. Apparently, she talked to her mom and her father last night, and her mother made her unblock me and told her we have to have a conversation. But she didn't want to have a conversation through messages because words can be misconstrued, attitudes and feelings can be misconstrued when you read the message. So she said she just want to have to sit down and talk. I said, okay, that's fine. You can come to the hotel. We can sit out here by the pool and have a conversation. And I said, if you bring that man with you, we're going to have a problem. She said, no, he not coming. It's just going to be me. I said, okay. So I will keep y'all updated on what happens. I'm hoping they was able to talk some common sense into him because I want y'all to understand one thing. We weren't best friends. It ain't like we were like the besties or whatever. We were just cordial friends. We've known each other for a long time. We never had any issues between us. And we was always very cordial with each other in high school. We always, when we didn't have somebody to sit with at lunch, we would sit each other. That kind of friendship. Nothing like so deep. But I do appreciate the fact that she is willing to sit down and have a conversation and hear me out completely. So I'm thinking maybe she had a revelation. Maybe the mom and father said something. Maybe made something click. Maybe he said something that made something click in her mind. So I will keep y'all updated. I will let you know. Hopefully today doesn't end with me. Whoo, shall have to mollywop somebody, but I'm gonna keep y'all updated. But y'all be safe out there. So we had our conversation. It was a very mature conversation. I will say that nobody had to yell at each other. Nobody had to scream over nobody. I mean, I knew something had transpired from the time I left up until this meeting this morning. Because when she walked through them gates, she hugged me. She started crying. So I pretty much just asked, what's going on, what happened, where's all the emotions coming from. So apparently, when the mother and father showed up, they went ahead and just got the kids and took them back to their house. She questioned the boy. He said it's a modesty thing. Ain't nothing creepy about it. It's just how he was raised. When company comes over, children are dressed. You don't show no skin or nothing. Thankfully, the grandmother wasn't trying to hear that. So they got the kids for a week. And then they just want to make sure the kids get back and forth to school. And then the mother could just focus on working, overtime, all that good stuff. So last night, I guess, well, right after the boy had left, the mother had called, to check up on the girl or whatever. And a teenager had spoke up. Now, the teenager didn't say nothing physical happened, but she said he has made quite a few comments that were kind of weird, but she didn't think nothing of it until now when everybody's kind of like saying, something ain't right with this man. So apparently, when people say things like, oh, I know he gonna be fine when he grow up, or oh, I know she gonna be sexy when people make them weird comments about children, and you kind of just like look at him. Apparently, he's made that comment quite a few times about the young teenager. Oh, I know you're gonna be sexy when you turn 18, et cetera, et cetera. So when the mother heard that, that's when everything finally clicked. They're like, okay, so it wasn't about modesty. This was about you looking at my child in a sexual manner, but you trying to wait until she becomes a legal age to do something. So all I can say is, I'm very happy that I'm nosy when it comes down to it. I'm very happy that when she got on that phone call and she put it on speaker, my ears instantly perked up because if you put somebody on speakerphone, that means you want everybody to hear the conversation. So I'm happy I perked up and I got, I heard, because usually I'll just completely disassociate and get on my phone and just start scrolling TikTok. But for whatever reason, at that moment, I didn't want to touch my phone. That was nothing but the Lord in my eyes, allowing me to actually listen and go, that sounded weird. So as of now, kids are safe. Kids are safe. She says she's no longer with the man. I'm really hoping it stays that way because this man checked off all the boxes when it came to dating for this girl. Made sure she was good financially, just the works. But I would much rather my friend be single for the rest of her life. Not saying it's gonna happen, but I would much rather her be single for the rest of her life before putting them children's lives in danger. So hopefully this is the end of this saga. I'm praying it's the end of this saga. I don't feel like it's over. I feel like there's still more to it. and there's still more truths to be told. But as of right now, I'm gonna take this as a win. hmm I'm gonna take it as a win. I'm really proud of that teenager for stepping up and saying what she said. I'm happy she, like I said, that little girl's intelligent. I'm happy she realized after hearing, adults chatter that hey, maybe them comments he made to me weren't normal. So kudos to you, baby girl. Uncle is proud of you. Hey, cousin. So I told you I would give you an update whenever I would get one. I just got off the phone with y'all niece, and I instantly got on high alert because it's like, why are you calling me at 10:30 in the morning? You supposed to be in class, and I know for a fact they don't let y'all have y'all cell phones out. But apparently, she's just been having lady issues with her cycle every month to the point where the cramping makes it really hard for her to get out of bed. So I'm like, okay, understandable. I have nieces too that have the same thing. Gotcha. So before I go on this date, I'm gonna stop at Walmart and get her some pampering and a heating pad. Cause her mama was gonna get her something, but her mama don't get out till 6 o'clock at night. And I don't want that child sitting up in there just hurting like that. So she was like, do you just have a little time to talk? I'm like, yeah, what's up? What's tea? So apparently she wanted to say something so much sooner. So much sooner than than what just happened. But she's like, well, one, she didn't want to ruin anything for her mother because she saw how happy this man made her mother. And the mother hasn't been this happy since, she was with their father. And the father is the type of father who think money can fix everything. He can break dates off for the kids and just send them some money and they'll just be happy. And, a toddler is a fucking toddler. You can give a toddler a popsicle. That's just as much fun as hanging out with pops. But she truly does love her father, so it hurts her heart whenever he cancels, and it's always like a sad ass excuse of why he's canceling. And this man was constantly like keeping his word. If he say he taking him somewhere, he takes him somewhere. And she didn't want to ruin it, especially the fact that she said she didn't have no proof that he was saying this. I don't give a shit. I don't care if proof or not. If a child says something, believe him. Until you have a reason not to believe him. Especially when it comes to weird ass comments and sexual incidents. Because children, unless they are raised in a very hypersexual household, children, don't understand sexual talk. So if they're coming to you saying so and so said so and so to me, take that for what it is. Because if they are innocent to the fact of anything sexual, this little girl hasn't even had health classes yet. So if a little girl is coming to you saying so and so said so and so and so and so, go straight to that fucking adult and ask him why you said so and so and so. I didn't say, well, why did my child come up? My child didn't just bring that out thin air. And on top of that, stop bringing these men around y'all children when y'all have only been dating for a couple months. And I'm gonna say the same thing about men. Stop bringing these women around y'all children when y'all only been dating for a couple of months. Do we not vet anymore? Do we not do background checks? You can't even meet my nieces unless we've been talking and dating for 6 months. They don't even exist to you. No, you can't come to the house right now. I'm sorry, my nieces are home. And it's like I told her, good Lord, I'm sleepy. In the future, if anything like that ever happens, you speak up. You go tell your mama, I don't give a fuck how much happiness she got. You go tell your mama, I feel very uncomfortable around this man. Why do you feel uncomfortable? Because so-and-so said so-and-so. He did so-and-so. He said so-and-so. Protect yourself. You are allowed to protect yourself. And if you don't feel like you want to say it, you tell me, I'll come say it. It's that simple. The way I'm walking in the house, friend, your daughter brought up some very concerning statements that we need to talk about. I have no problem doing it. Because I want these children to feel safe in their own home. A man is not worth your children feeling uncomfortable. And I wish she would ever fix her mouth to say, well, I don't think after what we just went through, you better listen to this little girl. This little girl's so innocent, y'all. This little girl don't even listen to worldly music. She don't like it. She is a very rare breed of child. This little girl like orchestra music and shit. Beethoven and Bach and whatnot. Like, that's what gets her brain stimulated. And I love that for her. And I even told her, when you finally were able to be honest with your mom and your grandmama about everything this man has said, you not only saved yourself, but you saved your brother. Because he might have just been saying weird shit to you, but what we have learned about men who are predators, they really don't care about no gender, no age, no nothing. What would be stopping him from saying something or doing something to you, then looking at your little brother saying, well, he can't even talk yet? She's just feeling so much better about the situation because she said it was really hard just to sleep at night because he would always make these like weird comments right after she got out the bathroom, like from showering before bed. Right when she like putting night clothes on, that's when he would make like little slick comments like, "Man, when you turn 18, you is gonna be so beautiful." Like that's a red flag for me as well. I've said it before. I don't even hang out with motherfuckers who watch barely legal adult entertainment because why are you getting your rocks off to the fact that this actress on screen looks like she's 13? Mm-mm. You gotta go. Can't be friends, and I'm calling the FBI.
Listen, many times when you confront a person, especially a mother, about how their man may be a danger to them or their children, they'll blatantly ignore you or chalk it up to, oh, you're just hating. Anything in order to get out of having to take accountability and do what's best for them in that situation. And maybe it's because they have their own trauma and nobody's perfect, but there's something that they feel they get out of the situation. They could have resentment because the same thing may have happened to them and they didn't speak up. This is very important to talk about collectively because we do not need to have a culture where we silence children, especially, but where any type of vulnerable person gets taken advantage of. We need to stop brushing predators and predatory behavior or language under the rug. Me currently dealing with this in my own life makes this situation hit home even harder. Seeing this healed something in my inner child, but also triggered me into another level of awareness about the people that are supposed to be in my corner. After decades of silence, once I finally had the courage to break my silence around a man that had never been emotionally safe for me or others for that matter, I was still ignored, given the silent treatment, and left to manage on my own. I had to learn how to be a safe space for myself, but for my children too. I have a child that's nonverbal, and I had to do it for him, for the little version of me who didn't speak. Let's be clear. Children should not have to shrink themselves to feel safe around adults. Adults should create safety. As an adult, you should be a safe space for children, or you do not need to be around children. As an adult myself, if you're not a safe space in general, I don't want to be around you. I have done the work and I consider myself a safe space because I have done the work. I've been vulnerable with myself. I've been honest with myself about my traumas. I've healed my traumas so that I'm able to be a safe space for myself, my children, and the people around me, the world around me. Hurt people hurt people. So whatever happened to these men, to these women who are predatory, who are predators, they almost always seek to take that anger and resentment out on people who are vulnerable.
I want y'all to find this man page and watch this video and then come back and let's have a discussion about it. Go ahead. Now that you back. So, if you watched the video, if you didn't watch the video, I'm going to tell you what it was about anyway. He said he felt like he just ended a 15-year friendship because he went to go chill with his homegirl. It was her and her kids. One of them was a teenager and one of them was a little toddler or whatever. And he over there chilling, and his friend's boyfriend called him, was like, hey, I'm on the way. I got the pizza, blase swaze. And she like, bet, I'm about to get the kids dressed. He like, where we going? You getting the kids dressed for what? And she was like, oh, well, my boyfriend feels like the kids should have on clothes around him. You know, they need to be modest around him. And then the friend, the man in the video, was like, that's a red flag, friend, because number one, your little boy is a toddler and your daughter had on a t-shirt and some like biker shorts that came right above her knee. So she really wasn't like showing nothing. So it's like, if you can't be, first of all, your kids should be comfortable where they live at, which is true. Also, he said that man can't control himself around children. Like, why do the children have to? He don't even live there. That's the thing. The boyfriend don't even live there. So every time your boyfriend come over, your kids got to get fully dressed. He said when the little girl came out, she had on some jeans, some sweatpants and a long sleeve t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt. And I don't know if this just because I'm married or what, but if your kids have to get fully dressed in order for your man to come around, that man should not be coming around. I wholeheartedly agree with the man in this video, because that is a red flag that he feels like your kids need to be modest around him, not around everybody. They just need to be modest around him and have clothes on. That is definitely a red flag, because it wasn't like your kid was walking around with nothing on. I don't know, y'all. Tell me what y'all think.
A man wanting a kid to be dressed and properly dressed when they come around does not make him predatory. He can be wrong in his thinking, of course. Like, there's a multitude of reasons why he thinks a kid should be dressed. It does not make him predatory necessarily or inherently. I think that instead of just calling people predatory, just say, hey, I don't agree with that. Why is he, have you asked him why he feels that way? And like he said, modesty. And it's not like it's just on a young girl, it's on the baby as well. Why do you feel like just because you're comfortable seeing them dressed the way that they're dressed, that everybody else should be comfortable like that? And I feel like everything is not about being predatory, but it's about, I feel like, safeguarding certain stuff. I feel like there's going to come a day that young girl's becoming a young woman, right? She's growing up, and instead of him having to have a conversation with the mom one day about, hey, that's not an appropriate outfit.
And this right here is exactly why we have so many instances of women coming from teenager up into their womanhood with so much trauma, because you have grown-ass men constantly making excuses for other grown-ass men who are predators. First of all, there is nothing about a baby that you should be worried about when it comes to clothing. Babies walk around in the pamper all the fucking time. They babies. Some babies just don't like fucking clothes on, that's fine. If you can look at a child and that baby being in nothing but a pamper bothers you, something about you ain't right. And when it comes to my niece, she was fine. Her outfit was fine. That's why it didn't bother me, because she was dressed like a normal teenager. But now when he comes around, she can't show no skin in her house. Boy, find the darkest part of my... I really pray you don't have no daughters. Or I pray you don't have no daughters in the future. Because with this type of thinking, oh, you setting them up for failure. You setting them up to get harmed. My niece can't go nowhere. My actual niece, blood niece, can't go nowhere until I meet the parents at least 3 times. Can I go hang out with my new friends? I'm coming with you. I gotta meet the parents. I gotta see what their house look like. Are they clean? What their kitchen look like? They're gonna try to feed you. Let me make sure that their dishes are washed. Let me make sure they ain't trying to give you no moldy food. Let me go see what their bathroom look like. Let me see if they take time to clean the bottom of that toilet. Let me meet the father, because if I get any type of vibes off of him, you're not going without me. And what did we find out? The man was actually a predator? He had already said some creepy ass shit to the teenager? Oh, no. Now, what would have happened if I would have just sat my fat ass right there and not said a single word? Just let everything play out as it was supposed to play out. Then later on in the future, she get touched. I feel bad because I didn't say nothing. It bothered me, and I spoke up. I could have been wrong. I 100% could have been wrong about him. But from what I heard, it didn't sound right. It was a red flag. And it doesn't even surprise me that it's only men like you making think pieces like this. When you got this grown-ass man sitting here dreaming about the day this little girl turned 18 so he can finally try to do something to her. Child. And you wonder why women only choose the fucking bear. Every day, I just be so mad that I am attracted to men, because y'all make my coochie so dry.
Now, I'm pretty sure that by now y'all have seen Bear D. Luffy, the guy that came online and was talking about his friend of like 12 years. And, you know, the boyfriend that she was dating wanted her kids to not show any skin around him. I just want to say this. The fact that that man came online and really spoke his truth about his friend, shows you how much he really cares. Because not only did that video get to us and we all seen it, but it got to the girl's mother, and she came out to go talk and, investigate everything and make sure everything was good, because the girl blocked him after he left. But that just goes to show that a lot of y'all look at y'all friends as if you don't want to take no advice from them. And when they show you and tell you the red flags in your life, you want to ignore them. That was an actual red flag. If you're telling me that your 12-year-old daughter can't have on a regular t-shirt and some shorts that just come above her knees, yeah, there's something wrong with that guy. You don't want any skin. You got to be modest. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a sign. The fact that the guy's talking about he's going to put hands on him as if he put his information out tells you everything. Because why are you trying to fight? The woman's name was never said. The guy's name was never said. So I don't see what the problem is. But regardless, we need more people like Bear D. Luffy. That's a real one, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like the truth, but regardless, you got the truth out and you did something real positive, man. I hope plenty blessings come your way.
What breaks my heart is a lot of women don't even realize the risk they're putting their children in. And this can be taken even further than women. This can just happen in families in general or with friends, people that you feel like you trust. It's always the people that you feel like you can trust, the people that you should be able to trust. Because sometimes it's disguised as, oh, he's just old-fashioned, he's protective, he's a good man. But real protection doesn't make children uncomfortable. Real protection doesn't create tension in the room, in the atmosphere, in the family. Real protection doesn't require silence, compliance, or discomfort. And let's talk about these babies, these kids for a moment. These kids deserve to exist freely in their own homes, to wear what makes them feel comfortable, to feel safe and seen in their own spaces, to not be hyper aware of a grown man or woman's presence. They should not be walking on eggshells. They should not feel watched or monitored. They should not feel like they have to, quote unquote, cover up to avoid attention. And this especially goes for young women, because there's always been a stigma around our bodies, around our self-expression. We've always been sexualized. When you're a young girl, you get sexualized. You grow up to be a young woman, you get sexualized. You grow up to be an adult, and you still get sexualized. And I also want to highlight something important. That man, the friend who spoke up, that's family. That's what awareness looks like. That's what using your voice looks like. That's what friendship looks like. That's what protection and community looks like. Because too many people notice things and stay silent. If you ever feel like something is off, it probably is. And if a child feels uncomfortable around someone, believe them. Not later, not after you have proof, not after the damage is already done. Believe them the first time. Because safety isn't something you react to, it's something you have to actively create. And to any women who may be listening to this, you are allowed to want love, but your children still deserve safety more than you deserve companionship. That's just the bottom line. And the right man will respect your boundaries, your children's boundaries, will move with integrity. He will never put your children in a position to feel uncomfortable. But if he does, he doesn't need access to you or your children. This is one of those conversations that might make people uncomfortable, but discomfort is where awareness begins. If this message resonated with you or you feel like more people need to hear this, make sure you share this video and don't forget to subscribe and join a tribe, because protecting children is not optional. It's necessary. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Waves of Wisdom.